Most people think belly fat comes from what they eat. They are wrong. Before 9 tomorrow morning, millions of people will accidentally flip a biological switch, a switch that tells their body to store more fat around their organs. And the scary part, most of them will do it before eating a single bite of food. No donuts, no junk food, no cheating. Just one completely normal habit that quietly raises insulin resistance and cortisol. This might be the missing piece you have been searching for. Because what I am about to show you has almost nothing to do with calories. It has almost nothing to do with exercise either. It has everything to do with the first 60 minutes after you open your eyes. Within minutes of waking up, your metabolism makes a critical decision. It decides whether today is the day to burn stored fat or protect it, and most people send the wrong signal before they even brush their teeth. I am going to show you 7 morning mistakes that silently tell your body to hold on to fat. One of them is considered healthy. One of them is recommended by wellness influencers on your feed right now. And the last one is the hidden villain tying everything together. Once you see this, you will never look at your mornings the same way again. Here is a quick gut check. Just answer this in your head. Do you wake up tired even after a full night of sleep? Do you need coffee just to function like a normal human being? Do you crash around 2 in the afternoon and start craving sugar? Do you carry stubborn fat that will not move no matter what you try? Are you hungry again 2 or 3 hours after a full meal? If you said yes to even a couple of those, you are likely making these same mistakes. And the good news is, none of it is your fault. You were simply never taught how to fix it. Let's start with mistake number 1, checking your phone the second you wake up. Be honest, your phone is probably your alarm clock too. So the first thing your hand reaches for every morning is your screen, and then you catch yourself scrolling without even meaning to. Emails, messages, social media, the news telling you the world is falling apart. Here is what your brain does not understand in that moment. It cannot tell the difference between a notification and an actual threat. All it registers is stimulation, urgency, and stress before your feet even hit the floor. There is a hormone that naturally rises within 30 to 45 minutes of waking. It is called the cortisol awakening response, and it is supposed to happen. The problem starts when you stack artificial stress right on top of it. Researchers recently studied what happens when people simply block mobile internet on their phones. Just 2 weeks of that one change improved attention, mood, and overall well-being. Their focus improved by an amount comparable to reversing roughly a decade of mental decline. If removing your phone does that much good, imagine what staring at it every morning does. When you do this, you are choosing survival mode on purpose. And survival mode and fat burning mode are not the same thing at all. The receptor sites for cortisol are roughly triple in visceral fat compared to elsewhere. That is exactly why it is sometimes called the cortisol belly. Mistake number 2, drinking coffee before water. When you wake up, your body is dehydrated. You just went 7, 8, maybe 9 hours without a single sip of water, and you were breathing out moisture the entire time you slept, which means your blood is genuinely thicker in the morning than at any other point. So what do most people reach for first? Not water, coffee. When you do that, you are pouring a stimulant onto an already stressed, dehydrated system. It is like throwing gasoline on a small fire and wondering why you feel jittery. And I am not anti-coffee. I love coffee. I am simply against it being your very first input of the day. Even mild dehydration messes with your energy, your mood, and how hungry you feel. A lot of what people call hunger at 11 in the morning is just thirst in disguise. So water first, ideally with some minerals in it, then your coffee a little later, and that timing changes how the rest of your day feels. Mistake number 3, never getting morning sunlight. This is one of the most underrated items on this entire list, and it is free. Your body runs on an internal clock scientists call your circadian rhythm. That clock controls when you release cortisol and when you release melatonin. And here is the part most people never hear. It also controls how sensitive you are to insulin throughout the entire day. Insulin is the only true fat storage hormone in your body. And a huge percentage of adults today are considered insulin resistant. A big part of that comes down to a circadian rhythm that is quietly thrown off. Most people never set that internal clock properly at all. They roll out of bed, walk through a house lit entirely by artificial light bulbs. Then they drive to work or sit behind a screen under fluorescent lighting all day. Their body never actually receives the signal that the day has truly started. Research shows people who get natural sunlight during the day have better insulin sensitivity, even after accounting for body fat and the season of the year. Your body simply handles sugar and carbohydrates better when light timing is correct. And it works the other way too. When people get bright light exposure late in the evening, insulin resistance can rise. And blood sugar spikes higher after meals as a result. So light is not just about your mood, it is a genuine blood sugar tool. 10 to 30 minutes of real sunlight in your eyes within the first hour of waking. That is the entire hack. And yes, that means taking off your sunglasses. If you have a dog, this becomes effortless. Just walk them first thing in the morning. Mistake number 4, eating a healthy high carbohydrate breakfast. This one is going to sting a little because you have been told it is the healthy choice. The cereal, the oatmeal, the whole grain toast, the yogurt with fruit at the bottom, the granola, the orange juice, the muffin from your favorite coffee shop. Honestly, the average breakfast is dessert quietly disguised as health food. When you wake up, your body is calm, your blood sugar is stable. But eat a giant pile of carbohydrates first thing, and your blood sugar shoots up fast. Your pancreas has to release insulin to deal with that sudden flood of sugar. And when insulin is high, you are in storage mode, not burning mode. About 90 minutes later, that same blood sugar crashes just as steeply. What does that crash feel like? Shaky, foggy, and your brain screams for more carbs, more sugar, right now. So you grab another snack, and now you are on a blood sugar roller coaster all day. You are in fat storage mode from morning until night, without realizing it. Here is the flip side, and it is genuinely fascinating. Researchers fed young people a high-protein breakfast and watched their brains on a scanner. The protein breakfast reduced brain signals tied to food cravings and reward-driven eating. Not willpower, actual brain activity. They wanted less junk food for hours afterward. In separate research, women eating protein at breakfast instead of carbs lost significantly more weight and shaved noticeably more off their waistline in just over 8 weeks. Same calories, completely different first meal, completely different result. So the issue was never breakfast itself, it is what you put into it first. Protein first changes the entire trajectory of your day. Mistake number 5, eating too soon after you wake up. This one is subtle, and it connects directly to the last mistake. Most people wake up and eat within 5 to 15 minutes every single day. They never give their body an extra window to tap into stored fat for fuel. Think about it. Overnight while you slept, your insulin came down naturally. Your body finally started reaching for fat as fuel. That is the good part. But the moment you wake up and eat immediately, especially carbs, insulin spikes again. And that fat-burning window slams shut almost instantly. You shut off fat burning before you even leave the house. And then you repeat that same pattern again tomorrow and the day after that. This is not about starving yourself or extreme fasting of any kind, it is simply about not sprinting to the kitchen the second you open your eyes. Push your first meal back slightly while you hydrate, get sunlight, and maybe move a little. This lets your body stay in fat-burning mode just a little longer each day. Mistake number 6, sitting down right after you eat. You eat breakfast, then you do what almost everyone does. You sit at your desk, in your car, or on the couch with your phone, and while you sit still, the glucose from that meal just floats in your bloodstream, with nowhere real to go. So insulin keeps climbing to force that glucose into storage instead. Here is a study worth remembering. Researchers had older adults at risk for diabetes take 3 short 15-minute walks. One walk after each meal, nothing more intense than that. Those 3 small walks controlled blood sugar over 24 hours just as well as one long 45-minute walk done all at once. It was the timing after the meal that made the real difference. Here is why this actually works. When your muscles contract during a light walk, they pull glucose from your blood directly, without needing insulin to unlock the door at all. So one simple walk after eating 10 to 15 minutes, that is genuinely it. This might be the single easiest win on this entire list. Mistake number 7, starting the day in full survival mode. This is the master villain tying every other mistake together. The phone in your face, the coffee on an empty stomach, the rushing, skipping the sunlight, doom scrolling the news, sitting in traffic, notifications buzzing nonstop. Your body does not know you are simply running late for a meeting. It reads all of these stressors as one single thing: danger. So it floods you with cortisol and keeps that level high all day long. And chronically high cortisol does something very specific inside your body. It tells your metabolism to store fat in one particular place, around your organs, your heart, your liver, your pancreas, deep inside your belly. This is called visceral fat, and it behaves almost like an unwanted tenant. It is linked to inflammation and a long list of serious metabolic concerns. Survival mode and fat burning mode simply cannot coexist inside the same body. Your body will never willingly release fat while it believes it is being chased, because survival has always been and will always be its number one priority. So if your entire morning is one stress signal stacked on another, you are quietly telling your body to hold on to every single pound. And then, unfairly, we blame ourselves for not having enough discipline. It was never about willpower, and it was never about discipline either. Now notice something as we look back through all 7 mistakes together. Not one of them was about overeating, junk food, or even exercise. All of it happened before breakfast, before calories, before the day truly started. Your metabolism is not broken, and your body is not betraying you. It is simply responding to the signals you hand it every single morning, which means the moment you change the signal, your body changes its answer. So here is the exact routine. 7 steps, 1 for each mistake we covered. You can complete this entire routine within the first hour of your day. Step 1, no phone for at least the first 30 minutes. Let that natural cortisol rise do its job without extra stress piled on top. Step 2, water with minerals before anything else touches your body. Hydrate before you caffeinate. This alone quietly kills a lot of mid-morning hunger. Step 3, sunlight in your eyes within the first 30 minutes of waking. Step outside, skip the sunglasses, 10 to 30 minutes is enough. Step 4, a 10 to 15-minute walk, ideally after your first meal. You are stacking 2 wins at once, movement and morning light together. Step 5, delay your coffee by roughly 90 minutes after waking. By the time cortisol naturally tapers, that coffee gives you steadier, longer-lasting energy. Step 6, make your first meal protein first. Aim for around 30 grams. This quietly shuts down the craving signals in your brain for hours afterward. Step 7, build a calm nervous system before the day fully grabs you. A few slow breaths, a minute of quiet, anything that signals safety over threat. For every step here, you are answering one simple question for your body. Are we safe, or are we burning? When the answer is safe, fat loss finally stops feeling like a constant fight. You are not lazy, and you are not broken. Change the signal, and you will get a genuinely different response back. Try this routine, even just one piece of it, for the next 7 days. Then come back and tell me honestly how different you feel.